Okay, and it's 12:29. Okay, looks like we're live, but I'm actually going to sit tight. I'm actually early for the first time in a couple of weeks, so I just wanted to get online real fast. But I'm going to sit tight for about another 30 seconds or so till about 12:30, and then I'll start. Quick timeout Tuesday. So if you're online, let me know. You can send some hearts or like stuff across the bottom of the screen. That's always really helpful to me. Comment below if you're online, and if you're watching this in the recorded version, definitely let me know that you're online as well. I always like to know that someone's watching. Comments are always greatly appreciated. You can tell me whether you like what I had to say, or you can tell me if you don't like what I had to say. It's okay. It's an open forum, right? Social media. So anyway, we're going to just sit tight for about 20 seconds, and then we'll get going. So, right? All right. So here we go. Let's get going. Yeah. All right. So it's Time Out Tuesday. It is Tuesday, obviously, and it's about 12:30, and it is episode 65 of Time Out Tuesday. So this is the 65th week in a row that I'm coming to you, and always excited about that. It always causes me to give some thought to what's going on around me, both at the school and the world and my life, and see what I think I can share that might help anybody out. And if it helps one person, that's awesome. If it helps more, that's even better. So today, what I actually wanted to talk about, it actually starts off with a quote. It's a quote that everybody knows. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon and do these other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. And that was, of course, said by John F. Kennedy in 1962 during a speech that he gave in Texas, I believe. And of course, he was referring to the upcoming Apollo missions and the incredible goal of landing people on the moon. And that sentence that he said is something that I think is just some of the best put together words. There's certainly words that have just driven me in so many different ways, both in my personal life and business, and they definitely drive me and others of us at the karate school in how we choose to run the business. We choose to run the business in ways that are not necessarily the easiest way to run the business, but the rightest way to run the business. And unfortunately, very often doing things the right way can be sometimes the more difficult road, the road less taken, right? And so I wanted to actually give you a couple of examples of ways in which we challenge ourselves, I guess would be the best way to describe it, to do the things that we know are right despite the fact that they are most easy. And anybody that has spent any time at all talking to me about the school, especially when you first came into the school and wanted to learn a little bit about our programs, you probably heard me use the phrase, well, this is a way that we're different from other schools. This is another way that we're different from other schools. And if you spend a half an hour with me, you'll probably hear 25 times me saying that phrase. And here's two ways that we consider really important, and they're poignant right now because we just got finished with our testing. And our testing is how we determine whether people are ready to promote to the next level in martial arts. And it also guides the curriculum, what we need to go over again a little bit more to get people more refined. And it also might either cause us to add new things to the curriculum if we see that there's maybe a gap in the learning. We need to fill that gap. So the first thing I kind of wanted to go over was our curriculum and our philosophy on curriculum. So what most people would not know, because most people attend one karate school and they find a place that they like and they stay there until either they're themselves or their child is either done training, or they go away to college, or they find other interests. And But there are students that come to us from other schools and do know the difference. And I've heard from a lot of people that the thing I'm about to talk to you about is actually one of the biggest reasons why they left that other school, even though they didn't really fully understand what they were in the middle of, and why they see what we're doing as providing a much greater value. And that's something called, well, the type of curriculum that a lot of other schools use now, it's a definitely more modern way of teaching, is called a revolving curriculum. And what that really means is that, and I'm going to simplify it, it's a little bit more complicated than this, but what a revolving curriculum is that every month or rotating curriculum, I think is what they call it. Every month you might teach everybody in school the exact same thing. And then at the end of that month, everybody gets tested on that exact same thing. Everybody gets promoted. In most of these schools, everybody gets promoted. And then you move on and start teaching a new thing. And every month, you're teaching a new thing to everybody. You're not really necessarily too worried about the thing that you taught last month. Now, schools that have gone down this path talk about it as being one of the greatest moves that they've ever done. And the reason for it, and I'm on a lot of forums with people online who talk about this, and I've gotten on the phone with people to ask them more questions about it because I wanted to make sure I fully understood why we were not doing it. And one of the reasons why they're doing it is because it's much easier. It's a lot easier to teach everybody in your school one thing, test them on that one thing, and then move on to a new thing. Now, not only is it easier to teach everybody one thing, but from the student's perspective, they're learning something new every single month, and then they move on. So they don't have to worry so much about recollection of the old things. They just have to be able to do the new things until they get tested, and then they get to move on to other things. So it's kind of a feel-good thing for the students as well. So it's easier to get your teachers to teach it because all you have to do is train them to teach one thing this month. And it's kind of makes the students feel great about things because, in effect, they're all learning the same thing. Everybody gets promoted, and then they all start learning this new thing. When I got on the phone with somebody and asked them a little bit about their philosophy behind this and how you can ensure that people are improving over time and that they've got a good knowledge of their curriculum and proficiency in their older material, here's the reason that I was given why they do that, and this is almost exactly the reason why I chose not to. What they said to me this was on a phone call that I had with a guy who I think is running a very good school. He said, well, most people are going to quit karate anyway, so why bother worrying about them really recalling everything? We just want them to have a good time for as long as they're here. Now, I get it. If everything is purely about the business and the contracts and the memberships, then I get it. But we resist that. We resist that wholesale. We want to make sure that we're producing good students that, regardless of how long they actually stay with us, they're going to walk out of here having been involved in a structured environment with a cumulative learning process that actually gives them some level of expertise in material, not just what's the new technique du jour and then we move on to something else. So it's a lot harder for us to do that, and it's certainly a lot harder for us to continue to motivate our students to remember all of their old stuff, which grows over time, and then learn their new stuff, and then always going back and practicing that old stuff and making sure that everything we do is cumulative and improving over time. So that's one of the biggest areas of difference. We teach in a cumulative way, and we make sure that our students are always getting better and better at their older material. I think this is definitely more indicative of the kind of experiences that they're going to have when they go away to college, when they are in the workplace. You can't just learn something today and throw it away tomorrow and then hope to learn something new. No one's going to be interested in working with you if you keep forgetting everything that you learned yesterday. So that's reason number 1, 2, 3, 4, and probably 1,000 why we do our curriculum the way we do. The second way that we're very different from other schools is the way we test our students. Our tests are difficult. We hold the students to a high standard. We expect that when they choose to test, not forced to test, but when they choose to test for their next rank, they're doing so because they feel that they've got a good level of proficiency. And of course, with the younger students, we help guide them towards that decision. And we then hold them accountable in the test for demonstrating to us all the different material that they've learned all the way up until today, including their new material, before they can progress on to the next level. Our ranks, the stripes and belts that we put around our students' waists, are really a communication to the instructor that says, this is what I know, teach me something new. By putting a belt onto somebody that does not indicate what they really know, just because they've attended a lot of classes or showed up for testing, it doesn't really sit well with us because the communication falls apart. And we're not really doing what we think is important, which is building true martial artists, people that actually have a proficiency in the art of self-defense, combined with all of the other benefits of confidence, focus, balance, strength, and everything else that goes along with martial arts. So that is just two of the ways in which we're different. It's two of the ways that we comply with doing things not because they're easy, but because they're hard. I think that this is a great attitude to instill in our youth, and I hope that this is valuable to some of you so that you know a little bit about what drives us at the school and why we do things the way we do. If you ever have any questions about what we're doing or why we're doing it, it's very important that you ask, because some of what we do is disguised repetition. It may not be clear why we're doing a particular drill, but I can assure you, everything we do is well thought out. We don't do anything just for the sake of it. We're not looking to waste anybody's time or anybody's money. You walk into the karate school, we want everybody to be there to work and to progress and move forward. The Japanese term for that is kaizen. We move forward a little bit every day. That's really it's our mantra, and we really want everybody to get the benefit of that. And the best way to get the benefit of that is to understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. So anyway, that's really it for today. Today was a little bit of a long time out Tuesday. I'm sorry about that. It's actually an important topic to me, so I hope it was worth the time. And we got a lot of stuff going on today. We're testing our brown belts this evening. We have a big group of students testing on Friday during our alternate test day this week. It's going to put the number of total testers somewhere in the 85 range, or maybe even more than that. I lost count already. Our students did really nicely at this last test. This coming weekend on Saturday, we have our 3-hour women's self-defense course. We're still taking enrollments for that. We have about a half a dozen or 10 spots left or something in that program, so definitely sign up for that. It's a really great way to get yourself kind of your mindset around how to protect yourself. If you've got teenage daughters or kids going away to school, this is a great thing for you to do. Give us a call at 631-499-0600. Get a spot on that. I think you'll really find it to be very valuable. That evening, we also have, on the 13th, we also have our parent night out. This is the best of our parent night out. We're going to do a whole bunch of events from all of our different parent nights out, followed up by a movie night. So the kids are going to have a blast. We got a birthday party on Sunday. And we're in one of my favorite parts of our curriculum right now, which is right after testing. We start working on strength and balance and physical fitness and agility, and we're going to be doing that for about 2 or 3 weeks. We're going to get these kids doing some amazing spinning techniques to really improve their balance and give them an amazing sense of accomplishment and confidence. So that's it for today. I hope everyone makes it a great day. I'll see everybody at the dojo. Peace.